Did you ever feel like your drawings look kinda bad, but then you realize that's only really the case because they actually do suck? I've been there too, relatively recently, but then I discovered there's a strategy to fix that, which is called Gid Gud. Well, however, that's not very helpful, is it? In this video I want to talk about how to do this Gid Gud thing, and with that escape the demoralizing mental pit. But let me give you a bit more background for this video first. Oh, and if you don't even have like less than a minute to listen to my background story, then you can use YouTube's chapter function to skip to the part you're interested in. You just would have to face the fact then that you're like kinda addicted. So many months ago I wanted to do a concept swap video, meaning that I wanted to create new characters by swapping the concept of two existing characters, in this case VTubers. More specifically, I wanted to draw Kali from Hololive as an owl and Mume as a Grim Reaper. But I didn't like how poorly I have drawn them. It's okay for just YouTube, I told myself. And even though I went like halfway through with the entire video, or even made thumbnails already, I disliked my drawings so much that in the end I scrapped the video. Now my latest drawing looks nice, I think, apart from the background, which is blurred anyways, I guess. Although the comparison isn't completely fair, since my latest drawings before that looked more like this. But it is way easier for me now to draw these things. Okay, but how did I escape the pit now? What should you do? How to get good? First of all, you have to be willing to improve. What I mean by this is you have to be willing to put some effort in and also practice stuff that is not always necessary. Practice things that are not always necessarily fun to do. Yes, I too love to draw waifus, but to draw waifus, you have to learn the waifus. I don't think the last sentence necessarily made sense, but what I meant was that while doing the following exercises might be tedious sometimes, they all have the purpose to give you the tools and abilities to draw whatever you like. And for that reason, what I did was going back to fundamentals. Later in the video there's a Beyond Fundamentals section, but even though I am drawing for quite some time now, revisiting fundamentals helped a lot. Fundamentals exercise 1, shapes and volumes. A simple exercise. Just draw different shapes and volumes in various views. The reason why this is important is that everything you want to draw can be broken up into various shapes and volumes. So with the help of boxes, cylinders, spheres, etc. you can draw things that even when you have never drawn them before. Once you are confident in drawing those, you can start modifying them, for example stretch them, or put holes into them, or change the edges by softening them, or curving them, everything you can imagine. With the ability to draw all of these different volumes, you can construct basically everything you want with it. Look for example how I constructed a human body with just those tools. Then of course you can introduce vanishing points and with that perspective. Especially for environment drawings, be it a big city, a forest, grassland, vanishing points are important to know and use. Just in case you do not know vanishing points, there are multiple types of perspectives. Most commonly used are the 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and I guess 3-point perspective. For 1-point perspective, think of an alleyway, and for 2-point perspective, think of a corner of a street. But I won't get deeper into that here, there are enough tutorials for that on YouTube. So yeah, you can do this exercise again just with perspective. For example, see how I'm constructing a street corner just by placing some random boxes and then carving different shapes and volumes into it, and voila, there you have it, a sketch of the corner of the street. Fundamentals exercise 2, gesture drawings. Oh, gesture drawings. I hated those at first. I think everybody does. But those are pretty effective and also somewhat relaxing and fun once you get the hang of it. You do not have to know anatomy for this exercise, even though it is advantageous. To do gesture drawings, you can head over to quickposes.com and either choose challenges or time practice. Then choose an interval, usually 60 seconds or below is best, and click start. You don't have to choose time to copy the essence of the reference. Remember, it is not about copying the drawing, but capturing the flow and the spirit of the pose. If you're showing someone your sketches, they should be able to understand the pose and replicate it. That is the benchmark. An additional goal is that you can build a mental library of different poses with that. Here, look at my 30 seconds gesture drawings I made. Those are just some ovals representing the head, the torso and the hips, while the limbs are just sticks. Still, you can guess the pose from there. If you want higher resolution or just different reference pictures than those on quickposes.com, then head over to cubebrush.co and get the free trial version of gesture drawing. This application allows you to select a folder on your file system and then it will take the pictures from there. But of course, in this case, you have to collect the pictures you want to use as a reference yourself from the internet or get reference packs also from, for example, CubeBrush. But while some of those packs are free, some cost money. Yeah, sometimes when I have enough of real-life models, I open this app and select my folder of pictures of anime figurines, which I put together by browsing various figurine stores online. I've put the links to everything in the description. Fundamentals Exercise 3. Break bodies or something else down into shapes and volumes. In the first exercise I told you that you can represent everything with simple shapes and volumes. This exercise aims to use these shapes and volumes to draw models of real-life things, in this example the human body. To do this, however, you need to know which shapes and volumes something can be represented by. For a human body, luckily, other people already did that. And when you search human body art reference or human body anatomy guide on Pinterest, you will quickly be able to find out how other artists use shapes and volumes to simplify the human body. But hold on! This guy used boxes to represent the torso, and this artist used this weird egg shape. And how would you describe the shape this person is modeling it with? Which one is the correct one? Well, whichever fits your liking and abilities best. These simplifications are just that, simplifications. You can simplify something to different degrees and in different ways. More advanced artists might use this model for their sketches. Beginners might want to stick with boxes first. The exercise is to take real-life reference photos and draw anatomy models over them. You can take reference photos from sites like Pinterest or from reference packs from, for example, CubeBrush. Depending on at which point in your art journey you are, you might want to start with the boxes and sticks model first, then replace the sticks with cylinders and get more complex with your simplification as you grow confident in the model you're using right now. Not everything you want to draw has a guide from other artists on which shapes and volumes it is made of. At some point you have to develop an eye for identifying those. Fundamentals Exercise 4. Figure Studies. Okay, you now know how to model a human body as shapes and volumes. It is time to draw them yourself. Take a reference photo and draw your model next to the reference. That's it, basically. You can increase difficulty by either choosing models with clothes on, or combining this exercise with gesture drawings, or both, I guess. Just do gesture drawings, but choose like 2 minutes instead of 1. If 2 minutes is too short for you, start off with 5 and gradually decrease the time each time you do this exercise. Like for every exercise, you should primarily use real-life reference photos, but I have to keep up the waifu quota for this video, so I used anime figurines as reference here. Beyond fundamentals. Let's say you mastered your fundamentals and are ready to move on. What's next? Well, it depends on the topic. But even then, what I would say is that whatever you are aiming to draw, there are template ways to approach it. First off, if the thing you want to draw is too complex, Like, let's say you want to draw a character, then you have to break it down in its elements and learn how to draw each. For example, if we take a human character, what does it take to draw them? Well, you need to know human anatomy and how to draw each element of it. You need to know how to draw clothing. You need to know how to draw weapons if they carry any, and so on. Also, those elements have a hierarchy. What I mean is that it doesn't really make sense to learn how to draw clothing without knowing how to draw a naked body. What are you putting the hoodie on? Your fridge? But a human body also has a lot of elements. In this case, I would go with the most relevant and noticeable element first, which would be the head, torso, arms, hands, lower body, legs, and feet in this order, in my opinion. That being said, you could start practicing clothing, for example, after knowing how to draw an upper body. There's not an objectively correct order. But no matter what you want to draw, you have to approach it with a kinda divide and conquer mindset. You have to break it down into its pieces until each piece becomes manageable. Sheesh. Dang, making it such a video really shows me that I am a English second language speaker. Okay, again. You have to be able to approach each thing you want to draw with the mindset of breaking it down into pieces until it becomes manageable for each piece to be drawn. Did it? Yes! The face, for example. The head needs probably a further separation into its pieces. For that reason, I did a fair amount of nose studies alone. But to know how to learn something in particular or how to break down something into pieces is not easy. Luckily, there are plenty of tutorials and resources online, like on YouTube, which can help you with that. Maybe I'll do a meta tutorial which aims to collect references to as many good tutorials as possible at some point, I don't know. Channels I can recommend for that, however, are, god damn it, I don't know how to pronounce these names, Marco Bucci and Marc Bonnet. Wait, let me Google it. Okay, neither one says their name at the start of the video, so I'll just go with Marco Bucci and Marc Bonnet, and if it's wrong, then it's wrong. But there are certainly more than those two channels in general with great tutorials, but those are the two I can think of right now. Exercise beyond fundamentals. Studies. No matter what you want to learn to draw, part of it is understanding how it works and copying references, or in other words, doing studies. I'm currently trying to understand how to draw clothing and where and why and when they fold, and for that I'm trying to analyze and copy references I found online. Be it a post on Pinterest, be it a model from some fashion label. Important is that you're not just mindlessly copying what you see, but rather look for the reason why the reference looks how it does. And then try to replicate it. With that, you should solidify your understanding of the thing you're studying. Also important to your goal is not to be as accurate as possible, but rather to catch the spirit of the reference and replicate its elements so you can use those elements yourself in your later works. I mean, look at my studies. They're not really that accurate of copies. I honestly spent too much time on this cosplay of Marcel without being accurate at all, but that's okay. While doing a study, I got more of an understanding how the clothing folds. And yeah, some folds are still a bit mysterious to me, like this one, but in general, I'm starting to get where the tension points are and how they affect the fabric. Of course, your copy shouldn't be like completely different from the reference, but do not get obsessed about accuracy. Closing words. Also important to note is that studies or any of those exercises really should not rob you the joy to draw. If you want to improve, you should do these exercises, don't get me wrong, but they should not come at the cost of you quitting. It is important that you are experiencing your journey as an artist at a pace you are comfortable with. It should be clear by now that this video shows that I have some difficulties pronouncing some words, and comfortable is one of the worst offenders for me. Back to the topic. Those exercises are not meant to be done all at once or forever. The last time I did either of the fundamentals exercises is a couple of months ago, I think, if you're ignoring me doing them for background footage for this video. If anything in this video was helpful to you, I would appreciate a like, comment, and of course a subscription to the channel. The videos posted here are all about digital art in some shape or form. Or should I rather say shape and volume? Huh? But they won't be all tutorials. I'll just do whatever I feel like doing, be it art challenges, discussions, or tutorial videos like this one. Until next time, you're Azurius.